and it causes it to fluoresce a bit, and it runs along the magnetic lines of the upper atmosphere. And that's the purpose of this. We want to follow those magnetic lines. The reason the principal investigator proposed this, the reason we're bothering with this rocket tonight, is to understand how energy changes, how it shifts from one part of the atmosphere to the other. And the place to study that, the easiest place to study that, is in the upper atmosphere. But this data can tell us a lot about space weather. It can tell us a lot about how energy moves from the sun through our upper atmosphere and ultimately down.
That is Tony Rice joining us from Raleigh. Lots of comments in the chat calling back to last night's big side conversation that I'll acknowledge for anyone who wasn't with us last night. We were joking, Tony, there's been so many scrubbed launch attempts that we could all just sit down and watch the box set of Scrubs. And and someone in the chat says they're gonna finish off Scrubs tonight and watch that finale. Hopefully they don't mean of the last season, just the last actual season, not the spin-off.
That didn't occur.
Right. We just pretend that Dave Franco one doesn't exist.
Yeah. That's what happens when you don't let your team know that you're going to renew them early enough. And
158, 159.
ROA copies.
Listening to radio communications now. Coming up on 8:34, where our next benchmark is. We're still got 10 minutes and holding on the countdown.
Imminent PM. M&O. Turn on data recorders. In work.
Terminal count to convince in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
Not the launch.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. 10 minutes and counting.
All right, so we've
PM
resumed the
M&O
countdown.
recorders are on. PM copies. Check 160.
Just a reminder, that count you just heard was to begin the terminal count. So we are now currently at T-minus 10 minutes and counting. Actually, it's T-minus 9 minutes and 41 seconds and counting.
CLC, check 161.
ACS, check 162.
That's just a radio check.
164.
M&O PM. M&O. Set ground station levels and confirm. In work.
So to give some idea of where this is happening, Bermuda is pretty much due east of Charleston, South Carolina, and where this location where they're going to release that vapor is pretty much due east of the Virginia, North Carolina border.
PM M&O, ground levels are confirmed. PM copies, check 165.
So look due east. And hopefully you're not looking through too many clouds.
Yeah, I know I'm out of luck here in Charlotte, between the clouds and the trees.
We probably are in Raleigh too, but that doesn't mean you're not going to see a spinning office chair here in 10 minutes.
I look forward to it. I'm counting down to the spinning office chair. I'm James Brierton in Charlotte, North Carolina. You're watching live coverage from the Carolina Weather Group on our non-stop all things weather YouTube stream, Carolina Weather Net. When we're not in this live programming, you'll catch the best of our weekly podcast show, all dedicated to weather, science, technology, and more.
If you're just joining us, we are counting down for the Black Brant XII launch from Wallops Island, Virginia, for the KiNET-X mission. We are currently at T-minus 8 minutes and counting. We have been waiting for opportunities to be able to launch this rocket for about a week. Tonight is the last night of the countdown, and it sounds like we are finally potentially getting an opportunity with clear skies in Bermuda. So we are, again, crossing our fingers and hoping that pans out. There is a possibility we will do a 3-minute hold, but we are hoping that is not the case. So stay tuned with us in the next few minutes for more information from Wallops Island.
Looking now on the right side of your screen, satellite imagery. 3-minute hold is as far as we made it last night, Tony. Hoping we get a little bit further tonight.
Again, if you're wondering why they have kept trying, even though previous evenings it looked pretty bleak, the prospects of actually being able to get this launch off, the answer is that you don't pass up on opportunities. There's a limited number of opportunities to get out there on the rail and be
PTM
able
check
to launch.
170. Swarm check 171. ACS check 172.
I was holding out to see if they were going to say any more. We are listening into the radio communications from Wallops, along with the NASA Public Affairs Officer. I'm James Brierton. That's Tony Rice. We also have Dan Whittaker. Dan, I presume it's really dark out there now on the Outer Banks of North Carolina.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to get darker here. I'm trying to get some multiple camera angles figured out here, trying to figure out which camera is going to handle this better, and we'll actually try and get a couple different angles going on at the same time so that we can film any part of the sky that we need to.
Recorded and confirmed nominal, and we have a good lock on the transponder.
PM 69.
T-minus 5 minutes, 50 seconds and counting for the launch of the Black Brant XII from Wallops Island. Stay with us.
Oh, we will. And I've got my
I like to hear nominal on the radio net. That's always a good thing to hear.
They were confirming data too, right? They were radio communications. Yeah. Again, there's a visual aspect to this too. NASA will be using camera observations, I think both from the Virginia coast as well as Bermuda and an aircraft to actually watch this as it flies out over. It's going to be releasing a vapor. They're going to be studying energy transfer in the atmosphere, and all of that will happen about 9.5 to 10 minutes after launch. But the actual launch itself is what you might have an opportunity to see depending on where you are. Short window of time, about 30 to 60 seconds. That's the purple on your screen there for most of the Carolinas.
PLC check 173. PTM check 174. PLC check 175. PTM check 176.
RSO, Starway.
Stand by. Go for RSO.
Provide final wind-weighted settings.
Set azimuth 100.8. Set elevation 79.7.
Azimuth 100.8, elevation 79.7.
Good readback.
Check 177. LC, this is ROA.
This is LC.
Set 50K launcher to final settings. Azimuth 100.8, elevation 79.7.
Break. This is the RSO. Set elevation now 79.5. That is a correction that we're making right now. 79.5 for your elevation.
ROA copies. LC, do you copy?
LC copy. And work.
Yeah, maybe my old eyes are playing tricks on me, but I could have swore I just saw that rail move.
That's what they were talking about right there, right? Adjusting altitude.
Launcher settings.
Yeah, they're adjusting for wind.
To get ready for launch, we're currently at T-minus 3 minutes, 30 seconds and counting.
Okay, final settings are azimuth 100.8, elevation 79.5.
Good readback. Check 178.
As we
Reminder,
get closer
if you're
to launch.
going outside in the local area or even in any part of the eastern United States, just remember that if you're listening to this, there's probably a delay, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 seconds to 1 minute. So just take that into account as you go outside. And again, take some photos. If you're able to see the launch, post them so we can see what you're seeing. T-minus 3 minutes and counting.
That's pretty much what I was going to say as well, too, especially
PLC
with our
check
angle from the
179
beach.
and 180. CPR check 181. M&O PM. M&O. Verify no change in signal strength and deviation for all links. Verify nominal levels and report any changes in transponder interrogation. In work.
Past
PLC
the
check
3-minute
185.
Might actually get this off.
I was just going to say, Tony, if you want to run outside.
No, I'm not going until it leaves the rail. We've got 9 minutes.
PLC, check 187.
PM, MNO. Signal strength has no change. Confirm nominal and no change to transponder.
PM copies, check 183 and 184.
ATM, check 186.
And I love watching them launch.
Mark, 2 minutes and counting.
And we will take the
50K
launch
launcher
full when
settings
it
are
happens.
elevation 79.5, azimuth 100.8.
Check 191.
EDS, check 190.
PLC, check 192.
ATM, check 194.
T-minus 1 minute, 30 seconds and
PLC,
counting.
check.
Right side of your screen, Carolina Weather Group on the Outer Banks. Left side of your screen, the feed from NASA. It might be slightly out of sync.
PTM,
Go.
F10,
Go.
Swarm,
Go.
CPR,
Go.
ACS,
Go.
EDS,
Go.
Dartmouth,
Go.
Goddard,
Go.
UNH,
Go.
PI,
Go.
MM's go, SRPO,
SRPO, go.
check 197. 1 minute.
All stations are go, reporting go for launch, 1 minute and counting. On the final night of the countdown. Can't write a better story than this.
You excited, Tony?
Always. Never gets old.
"40 seconds.
Minus 30.
Talos firing circuit armed.
There we go, folks. A moment I think we've all been waiting for.
20.
Just moments away.
ACS, check 199.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
16
9.
tracking.
Plus 10.
Radars 2, 5, and 18 are tracking.
ACM is
And you
enabled.
just saw that the flame disappear. It disappeared into the clouds.
20.
So we're probably not going to be able to see flames. Maybe Dan will. out
Radar
on the
3
coast.
has a good track on the booster.
Got Dan's picture now up.
Second stage ignition.
NASA feed on your left.
Again, as we told you,
Second stage separation and third stage ignition.
it's a beautiful, beautiful show here. Again, if the camera you're on the screen right now is kind of in and out, again, based on the clouds in the Wallops area. But kudos to our tracking team, doing an awesome job of staying locked in.
Live view again on the right side from the Outer Banks. We'll see if Dan Whittaker either sees the launch
Plus
or the
1
vapors,
minute.
which are about 9 minutes out.
Third stage burnout.
OSS is Starcell on channel 1. You're clear to the pad. Be advised there were some chunks coming down. We noticed on video. Over.
Dan's profile picture coming up. As we wait to regain connection from him, here's a live look back at NASA.
Yep, no
Oh, we have a
zone
live picture
ejection.
from Dan here. Right side of your screen. Dan, I think, is seeing this thing, Tony. This is a live look, Carolina Weather Group camera on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. You can see the illumination of the rocket now as it heads away from the coast. The picture from NASA on your left is dark. We'll keep Dan's picture up here full. Some of you may be getting the same view if you're along the eastern coast. And so just enough break in that cloud cover for Dan and hopefully a whole lot of you along
Separation.
the east coast to see that. We'll keep those Carolina Weather Group exclusive pictures up on the right-hand side of your screen as we're now looking at mission control from NASA on the left.
Radar 3 is on the main vehicle now. 2, 3, 5, and 18 are tracking.
Barium number 1 separation, number 2 separation.
Got some of you in chat telling us you're seeing similar views. That is outstanding. Such a short window of time. Thank you to Dan Whittaker for these live pictures from the Outer Banks. In about 8 minutes or so, part of this experiment will tell us whether or not we'll see any of the vapor. I think we have audio from Dan Whittaker. Dan, what's it like out there in the Outer Banks?
That was an incredible view. We're still seeing trails of greenish, teal, and blue kind of in the sky with some white colors behind it. I don't know if you can see that. I actually got an incredibly clear video on my DSLR of that, of a close-up.
About
Hey, Bob.
Bob, they're
High power.
calling
We'll share here soon.
6 AM is seeing strong
secondary.
signal on ejectable.
They're calling the secondary payloads Bob, so if you hear them speak of Bob, that's what they're talking about.
That last voice was the
EDR,
public
so
affairs
can you meet me
officer
on
from
5?
NASA. Dan, you'll have to let us know if you see those vapors coming up in a little more than 5 minutes or so. I know they're hard for the human eye to see, and I'm not sure how hard they are for the camera's eye to see as well, but I know that's the next thing so many of us will be looking for, and then we'll also be looking online tonight. I know you said you had a secondary camera that was also positioned. We're looking forward to seeing that as well.
Well, folks, there you have it. It's like a great season finale of your favorite TV show, or the last 4th and goal on your favorite football team, and a touchdown at the end. So congratulations to the team for having this the tenacity to stay focused for this whole long window, and just to get this launch beautifully and perfectly tonight. So congratulations to the launch team, and thank you to everyone for staying with us over the past week. We appreciate
Tony Rice,
your
I see you're back at your computer there in Raleigh. NASA ambassador has been with us tonight for this stream. I mean, it came down to almost the very end of this last window and the last night of the launch. Did you get to see anything there in Raleigh, Tony?
I saw a Delta flight heading to LaGuardia. That was about it. We're clouded out here as well in Raleigh. So I appreciate Dan sharing his views with us.
I know. Looking forward to his secondary view as well, too. We'll continue to listen into those radio comms, mission control on the left. Some of you in chat telling us that you're seeing it. Some of you saying you're seeing clouds as well. That's what I got here in Charlotte, just like Tony's got there in
B
Raleigh.
is eject. Positive brake wires and marker switches.
Jonathan
like the
saying,
Bob's
seeing it in Lenore
doors
County.
are opening.
I'm seeing strong signals on TM links 6 and 8.
Jason's got it in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Tony, can you remind us again, if people are just joining us and still keeping their eye to the eastern sky, what the vapors are that they're looking for?
So the vapors are actually...
Unfortunately, we're not going to have video of the vapor tracers. However, if you are still hanging around, you should see them, if you're going to be able to see them in your location, in about 5 minutes. We'll hang around here in case there are questions about it, but we are seeing some amazing imagery coming in.
Do you think on the Outer Banks with our cameras might be able to see it, Tony?
Very possibly. Hopefully so.
All right.
Based on what Dan was saying about the clouds.
Yeah, we should have
we
a
won't
great
have
view.
any video of the
We'll continue to hold. That's Dan's picture on the right-hand side. NASA feed on the left, the voice of the public affairs officer. So they're saying they don't have any cameras to show their audience the vapors. We're going to try. That's the best we can do is try. We've got Dan in position for that. Michael says he's got a great shot from Rhode Island, looking south.
Oh, wow.
To the KiNET-X launch team. Again, please feel free.
But to answer your earlier question, the vapors are there to interact with the upper atmosphere. They act as indicators. They act as tracers. And the principal investigator, what he or she is looking for is to better understand how energy interacts up in the upper atmosphere. So that particular vapor that's being released, once it's hit by sunlight, will fluoresce and start to follow the magnetic lines, so we can see how those electrons are moving around.
Jennifer says she didn't get a chance to see it here in Charlotte, North Carolina because of clouds. It makes me feel like I didn't miss anything outside, as I am also in Charlotte.
So, James, I'm going to try and get this video to you in just a second here, and so we can at least replay that back from my secondary camera. So just if we hold on for another minute, I should have this up soon.
Voice of Dan Whittaker, Carolina Weather Group, out there on the Outer Banks. We will stand by for that. And looking forward to that, Dan. And thank you so much for providing that angle. You got to see from Dan's view just a few moments ago live what hopefully some of you got to see as well, which was that rocket finally launching. Aw, man, our lower thirds don't support emojis. I was going to put a little rocket picture there. We'll continue to watch Dan's picture to see if we see those vapors coming up in the next few moments or so. And Dan said he's also going to try to re-rack for us video of the launch. Tony, does it normally take a week or more to get rockets off the ground?
Oh, I could tell you some stories. There was one particular shuttle launch that my family went down for twice. And I when I had a chance to talk to the public affairs officer later when I finally met him at another launch, I commented to him that my wife got to really hate the sound of his voice because it was usually him coming over the public address system with a very folksy, well, doesn't look like the clouds are gonna, or the rain, or the whatever, basically the weather wasn't going to cooperate with us. That particular one, I want to say, took a couple of months to get off. And they would try for a week, they'd stand down for a couple of days, give the team time to rest, and pick back up.
Sightings in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Akron, Ohio, and Ottawa.
Wow.
So please continue to send us the locations. We're really excited to be able to track them to verify our viewing map. So very exciting to hear this. Continue to send us your information and your images.
Honey Mustard able to use the emojis in the chat.
Oh, we have a crazy view here.
All right, we're coming out to Dan Whittaker. Go ahead, Dan.
We've got some greenish yellow colors changing out here direct to the east. Actually, a little bit farther east from where the rocket initial trail was seen. I don't know if you can see this
very
well
faintly
on this screen, but it's directly in the middle. Yeah, it's a little more vibrant here in person, trying to capture it, but it's disappearing now. But definitely some different colors happening in the sky. We've got some what definitely appear to be vapors happening in a couple different areas of the sky, and shifting colors and shifting locations. It's very interesting for sure.
Dan, the cameraman is my hero, is the comment coming in right now into chat. Other streams are just control room. Well, that's right, because I don't think other streams have a guy out on the beach. So, Dan, thank you very much for giving us views that other people may not be able to see where they are right now, whether it be for clouds or distance or geography or whatnot.
I see folks clapping in the control center, which often gives me good news. I see thumbs up.
Dan, you mentioned seeing some green colors. What other
Yeah,
colors
I'll
are you
wait. You're
seeing?
clear to release the airspace.
Dan, I'm going to repeat that question. Did you see any purple as well?
Saw some purplish blue colors, but most of the time more towards the blue spectrum when I caught it.
The clapping hands, thumbs up, excitement, high fives in the control room, air hugs and abound. That shows good signs from the PI and the launch team. So again, if you're able to see the cloud, please feel free to take a photo and send it to us, tweet us, or post it in a comment on Facebook. Again, send us your launch images if you were able to see the launch tonight. We're getting some amazing photos coming in.
Sounds like we should send NASA our live stream.
You absolutely should. You're doing a great job out there, Dan. So I'm over on Twitter looking at some images that are coming through from various folks. I'm retweeting them if anybody wants to go out there and look at those. I'm RTP Hokie, Hokie, and I've seen a couple from Hatteras and from New Jersey And where's this one from? Oh, great. Somebody tweeted a picture of their clouds. That's helpful. We've got those in
We got plenty of clouds.
Here.
We're looking at your Twitter feed right now, Tony.
LOS just simply means loss of signal. Nothing to be concerned.
Jim's got a very similar view to Dan. Oh, out there from Hatteras. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. Poked out there nicely into the Atlantic. Get a good view.
Wow, the view from Trenton, New Jersey is gorgeous as well, too.
Pretty amazing. Now, there's one from Myrtle Beach I just pushed out.
All right. We'll hop back up to see that in just a second. And I take that they when they were clapping in the control room there at NASA, they do have their own instruments looking out at this, and they must be getting data readback that makes them happy.
Yeah, they're verifying that the bobs, as they were pointing out there, those payloads were being released successfully.
Thank you so much for spending your evening with us, and for those of you that have
sounds like the public affairs officer is beginning to wrap up their coverage.
Contact us for a wonderful.
Take another look here at
that you were up watching a rocket launch.
At Tony's Twitter feed.
Seriously, maybe not. All right, have a great night. Congratulations.
There's that view from Myrtle Beach that Tony was talking about. And yeah, do give Tony a follow if you haven't already. He is a great resource to all of us here in the Carolinas and beyond. And Tony, actually, the whole reason we started streaming this on the very first night was because you alerted us to it through your email distribution. So thank you for that heads up.
And that's what I do it for, to let you guys know that something like this is coming along. Was happy to do that back when SpaceX was launching right before sunrise, giving us the opportunity to see that. You are one, I try to make you feel special, but you're actually one of about 500 meteorologists around the country that I send that weekly email to.
Well, it does still make us feel special. So thank you very much for that, and for your time tonight. Your knowledge and commentary is always great. We had you on talking about SpaceX when that did launch, so you can find that in the Carolina Weather Group archive on our YouTube channel. Dan Whittaker just cracked open his mic. Let's go out to him for maybe another word from what that viewing party was like out there on the beach, Dan.
Oh, he's the man of the hour. We got to hear from him.
That's right. So I'm actually getting ready here to try and perform a screen share, and we'll see if we can get this video up here.
Okay. I'm excited.
Right. So here we go. You can see kind of this second camera that or the second account that I'm trying to come in from.
All right, we'll stand by. Right now, we're still looking live at the blackened sky. Dan Whittaker, as you can see, had another camera on a tripod there in addition to this live feed he was sending us, and I think that's the angle he's going to try to play back for us here. And we're going to hold on. I waited a week for this, and we're going to wait to see what Dan's footage is like. But I will shamelessly say, folks, if you have not watched Tony Rice's other shows with us, do check those out. You can find a space-related playlist that should make it nice and easy to find them on our YouTube channel.
And while Dan's setting up there, I could share a couple other astronomy things that are coming up that folks might be interested in.
Sounds amazing.
So tonight, while you're out there, if you're not clouded over like we are in much of the Carolinas, you can take a look at the. Oh no, let's watch this. This is way cooler.
Dan, the floor is yours, Dan.
Wow.
The view from the Outer Banks, Barrier Islands of North Carolina.
Wow, oh, look at the shock waves. That I don't know exactly where that was, but my guess is that might have been the rocket passing the sound barrier.
Dan's going to play, I think, it again or another angle.
So this is the first video. I then played the second video, which shows it going past what appears to be the sound barrier. But here's where it first approaches.
That is incredible.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Dan, for anyone who wants to photograph astronomy or all things in the sky. How did you pull this off?
So basically just had a telephoto lens and had it set to about 200 millimeters, so a little bit zoomed in, and had a DSLR camera with the settings maxed out basically for as bright as I could get it, and just shot real-time video and followed the rocket as it went upwards.
And you didn't buy your tripod at Walmart, I take it. It's a good steady shot.
No, that is correct. My tripod, I have actually 2 different tripods set up here, but yeah, if we're still on camera here, it says it signed me out from one of the accounts, but we should still be live here.
We're looking at your replay again here, Dan. I think I could watch this all night. Dan, were there any sounds that you were able to hear out there on the beach?
No, couldn't hear anything from the rocket. It was mostly just we could hear the house that I'm at. Some of the people here were ecstatic to see it happening in the skies. It was a very kind of otherworldly experience, to say the least. The dogs actually started barking when they saw it. So that's how big and noticeable it was. The dogs even saw it and got freaked out by it.
Well, we heard the people, especially when the vapor started showing up in the sky, which was our first indication to come back out to your shot. And again, Tony said it, I think you are the man of the hour. Lots of kudos coming in from our live viewers in chat. So incredible footage indeed. And we're so glad you were able to get out there and capture those images for Carolina Weather Group, for yourself, and for everyone. And I do truly think we're going to flip these around to NASA. They were asking for social videos, and I haven't seen one yet, Tony, that looks anything like this show up on social media.
I have the PAL's email address, so ping me. I will share. They will love to have it.
Well, Tony, I don't want to cut us off as we're all enjoying this footage, but did you have any other thoughts you wanted to share with our audience tonight? And I think you were talking about some of the things that are coming up on the schedule.
Yeah, let me bring that calendar up.
While you do that,
so
Dan, what type of camera did you say you used for this?
I'm using a Canon 5D Mark IV for this with a 200 millimeter lens.
Beautiful stuff. Dallas Middleton says it best. N for science. For everyone Dan shot that footage for, N for science is the amazing punctuation. All right, Tony, you have some other events that we need to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, so tonight, if you do have clear skies, and I know many of us don't here in the Carolinas, Mars is about 2 degrees away from that 5-day all moon, so a nice sliver of a moon. So that's something to look for in the western sky. Tomorrow night, if you've never had the opportunity to see Mercury before, and I bet a lot of us haven't, Mercury spends most of its time having that tight, small orbit right around the sun. It spends most of its time so close to the sun that we really don't get the opportunity to see it very often. Tomorrow night's a great opportunity. It's at its greatest elongation, which means it's the greatest separation in the sky between it and the sun. It's also at its highest in the sky, so that makes it a lot easier to see. So after the sun sets sufficiently, go out there and look for it. It'll be in the west. And, you know, like I said, that's something you probably don't get to see very often. A couple of weeks from now, it'll be, you know, gone around the backside of the sun, so we'll start seeing it in the morning. We won't see it in the evening sky again until October, so that's something to look forward to. There's a couple of eclipses that are coming up that you might be interested in. May 26th, there's a total lunar eclipse. Unfortunately, that is more of an event for the West Coast because the moon is going to set before it's really, really visible here. We will not be able to see the total lunar eclipse. We will be able to see a partial lunar eclipse, but hopefully we'll have some good weather for that. The one I've really got my calendar marked for is June 10th. And that's a annular solar eclipse. The maximum eclipse is only going to be visible pretty much to caribou and native peoples of Alaska, because it's the path of not totality, but the path of annularity, if you will, where it's going to reach about 89% of the sun covered by the moon. Begins in northern Ontario, Canada, goes up over the pole and ends in Russia. That being said, though, we are going to be able to see here in Raleigh about 25%